Hey y'all, it's David Ducker coming back at you. I thought I'd do a video about fizzled campaigns, about fumbling game masters. Because I've been doing a couple session recaps about games that I've run. I did two separate one-shots. And I'm considering doing a series for my long-running Legends of the Seven Sands game, which ran for about 2 years. It's probably about 400 hours of gaming, at least, at least 100 sessions or something like that. Just think about putting that together. And I was thinking about doing other session recaps, though. Let's tell the story of this game. And I started to think about putting a video together, and then I realized I got a beginning. Sometimes I got a middle. Usually I don't have an ending. The campaign fizzled. The game master fumbled. And I hate that. I hate it so much. Because it doesn't make an interesting story. And I'm all about the storytelling aspects of role-playing games. So I thought I might do this video first of all to ask, do you see any potential entertainment value in session recaps for a session that's not going to have a sequel, that's not going to have a conclusion? Likely no, unless it's like part of a terrible Game Masters series. Or I will do one because it was a really good session. It was like the best session as a player I ever had. I'm going to do that as a video. But unfortunately, it was the last session of that campaign as well, because that wasn't the GM's fault. Well, it was, but he didn't fumble it. It was because I quit that game. But back to the topic at hand. Fizzled, fumbled games. So is it entertaining to hear about them? Probably not. But more importantly, why does it happen? Why do people start a game and run it, sometimes for like 10 sessions and it just fizzles without an ending? I mean, you can have a 10-session campaign, a mini campaign, and have a great conclusion. No problem at all, absolutely. But you need an ending, or else the story's just left hanging. Everyone's left hanging. There's no closure. It's like a lot of my past relationships. There's just no closure. It just goes on and on. So why does it happen? I believe one of the main reasons is GMs don't set out. Some GMs don't set out with a end game in mind. When I plan my campaigns, I look at what's the beginning, what's the middle, what's the end. The beginning, we intro the factions and characters and world. The middle, reveal hidden depths, or just add extra depths. Maybe they weren't hidden, you just didn't notice. And then the end is get those factions to clash against each other. You have to make the tough decision about who to back. It's the classic 3-act structure. It's in literature. First time I saw it applied to RPGs, my good buddy John Large over in the United Kingdom in England. I want to say Manchester-on-Trent. That's probably not it. But John, correct me in the comments below. His channel is called Red Dice Diaries, for those of you looking for it. Excellent channel. But he is the first I saw to apply the 3-act structure to gaming. Now, I was already doing it. Before I saw him do that, but he's the first one who published it, so he gets the credit. I know how it works. He gets the credit. That's okay. The point is not to get credit, the point is to help people out. So, great advice. Use the 3-act structure. Have an end game in mind. You'll be less likely to get to a point where you don't know what to do next, which sometimes causes a fizz and a fumble. And even if you get to a point where there's kind of a lull. You have some dead air, some boring sessions for you as a GM. It might still be great for players, you know, and you might still make them great even for yourself. Or hopefully the players will make them great for you. But when you get to that space where you have run out of momentum, if you've got the plot laid out, you've got something to strive towards and look forward to. You can grind it out, you know. I'm all about grinding it out. I mean, I like the middle and the end, mostly the middle of a campaign. The beginning, to me, is somewhat of a grind. Introing all the characters, running through adventures. It's just kind of boring. There's a lot of combat, not a lot of deep role playing. As a GM, it's not my cup of tea, but it allows you to move into the middle. You know, it takes time to intro things properly. You can't, info dump on your players. You can only introduce 3 new ideas per session. That's all they're going to retain. It's like on a TV show. Same thing. You're only going to retain about 3 ideas every episode. If you try to educate them on more than that, unless you're a documentary, and their brain is in that mode, you're not going to have good luck. Even though some documentaries, I don't know if they got 3 points in them, and that's fine, because you'll remember those 3 points if they get hammered home often enough. So to avoid the fizzle and the fumble, have an end in mind to strive towards. That's like my number 1 piece of advice. This video was, partially inspired by, I think it goes by the casual, is it GM or DM? Do you brand yourself with perhaps a Wizards of the Coast license name? Craig Uberoth was inspired by Craig Uberoth's video on being a try-hard GM and how he always fizzles and fumbles as a game master because he gets bored of it. Now I can't help you out with you getting bored of the thing that you've written. I mean, but perhaps if your writing is more structured, you can work through it. So that's probably my advice to you regarding the fizz, the fumble. If you have advice, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. Other people would love to hear it more than me, I'm sure. And if you have experiences under a fizzling, fumbling game master, or if you are that guy, put that in the comments below as well. Because sometimes we got to learn by bad examples and by making mistakes. And if someone can learn by your mistake, maybe that wasn't such a bad mistake. Because not only did you learn from it, but other people got to learn from it as well. And that's not so bad. It can alleviate it after the fact. So I'm going to sign off now, and I hope you all have a really nice day. Cheers.